Oklahoma State Cowboys taking the field a moment ago. And this is the 40th edition of the Cowboys and the Bears as we go downstairs to Quint Kesnick.
Mark, meet my people, the paddle people. The relentless noise here in Boone Pickens Stadium, the tightest sideline venue in college football. It's about 6 yards wide. The fans are omnipresent, breathing over the edge into the opponent's huddle. It's like the Thunderdome. These sidelines, they're hanging in huddles, looking at X's and O's. No breathing room for the Baylor Bears tonight.
Quint, make sure you watch what you say about them. They might hear you.
I'm sure he can smell their breath down there right now.
Well, Baylor won the toss, deferring to the second half. Oklahoma State will receive. Brendan Presley is back deep for the Cowboys. And we are underway. They'll come out first down and 10 to Oklahoma State from the 25-yard line. Spencer Sanders is the starting quarterback, completing 59% of his passes on the season, 4 touchdown tosses on the year against just 1 interception. But he's perhaps more importantly coming off the best game of his career last week, when he threw for 344 yards and a couple of touchdowns in an impressive win against Kansas State. Jaylen Warren in the backfield, number 7 beside him. First and 10 from the 25 for Oklahoma State. And it's going to be Warren on the game's first carry, getting over the left edge, and a nice healthy pickup for the first down and then some. He picks up about 20. Got a nice block on the edge as well from Sills.
Yeah, we just talked about who's quicker when we talk about these keys. Who's going to start fast in this game because it could decide the outcome, right? If Baylor can take the crowd out of it, then the home field advantage doesn't matter. But the Pokes want to do what they just did right there and get some good runs. Solve the puzzle. Both of these defenses want to change the picture on the quarterback, and we'll talk more about that right after this.
First and 10 from the 46. Sanders on the move, throws a dart complete for another first down to the 39 to Tay Martin, their top receiver. Robert?
So as we're talking about solving the puzzles, both of the defenses want to change the picture on the quarterback, but both offenses are looking for that TNT, those explosive plays down the field when they get one-on-ones. I love what Oklahoma State's doing right now.
They're going to run it again. This is Warren again. Broke 1 tackle, brought down for a gain of about 3 by Ashton Logan. It'll be second down and 7. Warren, the transfer from Utah State, has been very productive for Oklahoma State in a season where they've had a lot of injuries at that position. He gets another carry and picks up about 3. Mike Gundy, the head coach, in his 17th year on the sidelines, and looks like he's trimmed that mullet a little bit, tightened it up, lined it up for this game. 4-0 coming in. He says that this team is unique because he really feels like they've overcome a bunch of early obstacles successfully. And a successful pass once again to Tay Martin. He's the big target for the day, right?
Yes, Tay Martin is an NFL type of guy. Listen, he's only played in 2 games this year, and he's their leading receiver. That lets you know how much they want to get him the football.
Cowboys going quickly here, looking for the out and up. Sanders almost picked off by Christian Morgan at the goal line. A dangerous throw behind his intended receiver, Jaylen Warren.
Oklahoma State's been doing a really nice job of doing tempo to try to keep Baylor off balance. But right here, they fake the screen and get ready to throw it, and it looks like he's literally throwing it to Christian Morgan.
Wow.
You got to make that catch, brother, but I guess that's why he plays defense.
Second down and 10. Just inside the 30-yard line, opening drive of the ball game for the Cowboys. Running between the tackles. Warren brought down about a yard shy of that first down. It'll be 3rd down and 1. Dave Aranda in his 2nd year on the sidelines as the head coach for Baylor. Last year in a pandemic situation, didn't see his team until August on the practice field, as Sanders will come up just a little bit short on the keeper. Robert, interesting call coming up here, 4th and short.
You're at home, go for it, right? Don't kick this field goal right here. You can hear the crowd. They're telling them how they feel about the spot. But if he was to bring that field goal team out there, they'd be telling them how they feel about that mullet.
Making a substitution on the offensive line. Hunter Anthony comes into the ball game, and Baylor making some counter subs. 6 offensive linemen for the Cowboys going for it on 4th down. Sanders hands it off. Warren will get the first down. So they answer the questions on the game's first pivotal play, and they move the chains.
You see here, I don't think there was any secret to what they were going to be doing. They brought in 6 offensive linemen and said, we're running the football. They're trying to send a statement to Baylor right now that this is going to be a very physical football game. I love it.
First down and 10. Just inside the 13. Warren trying to bounce it outside. They had good leverage and forced him inside and bring him down at about the 7-yard line. A tackle made by Matt Jones. Jaylen Warren, great story, just 5'8", diminutive but extremely dynamic running the football game.
Yes, and he's a Utah State transfer, and he wasn't even supposed to be the starter this year, but they've had so many injuries at the running back position that he was thrusted into that role, and boy, oh boy, has he answered. 387 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns on the year, and he's a guy that they really, really love.
Second and 4, 11th play of the drive coming up for Oklahoma State. Sanders kept it and brought down right near the line of scrimmage. Ashton Logan wasn't buying. Logan, the former Arkansas State transfer.
Right, you can see him. The quarterback makes the read. He gets outside leverage and forces him to come back inside. And I'm telling you right now, that's not what you want when you're playing quarterback.
They fake the jet sweep. Warren keeps it. Touchdown, Oklahoma State. Warren with an 8-yard touchdown rush, and you couldn't have scripted a better opening drive for Oklahoma State. Robert, you said it, being able to get off to a good start, important for both these squads.
Yes, it was very important. And Oklahoma State, what can you say? Little eye candy right there out of the backfield, getting the running back a crease through the defense. Look, Boone Pickens Stadium is one of the hardest places to come and play. And when the Oklahoma State Cowboys can come out and start fast, it puts a lot of pressure on the opposing team. So here you go, Jaylen Waddle, get in that end zone. Let these Bears know you're for real.
Welcome back, everyone, to T. Boone Pickens Stadium in Stillwater, Oklahoma. The Cowboys open up with a 12-play, 75-yard scoring drive using a little over 4 minutes on the clock and lead it 7-0. Mark Jones alongside Robert Griffin chopping it up with Quint Kessenich down to the field, and Baylor going to get its first hands on the football. Ebner, a dangerous kick returner, had a 98-yard return last week, but not this time. Takes it out to the 21-yard line. 1st and 10 as we take a look at tonight's first flag of the ball game. See who this is going to go against. But Ebner bottled up that time on special teams. Here's the call.
During the kick, holding number 52, the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
I was going to say, I was kind of shocked that they kicked it right there to Trustin Ebner, but maybe that's why.
Hey, Robert, let's take a look at tonight's Chick-fil-A impact players and some intriguing matchups and guys to keep an eye on.
Oh, yeah. We got Gary Bohannon. He's playing at an extremely high level right now, not only with his arm, but with his legs. And Trustin Ebner, wow, this guy is a home run waiting to happen. But on defense, you got Malcolm Rodriguez. He's kind of like a wrestler, gets everybody down. And Devin Harper is a real NFL-level type linebacker.
Bohannon hands it off on first down. Nice run between the tackles by Abram Smith. He's actually the team's leading rusher, picks up 7 on the play. So we take one more look at, you talked about wrestling and getting guys down. Pretty good hold here.
Oh, wow. Look at that. I mean, he tried to end that man's life right there.
2nd down and 3. Easy call. From the 17. Bohannon up top, got a man, caught at the 45-yard line. What a play. Perfect. Estrada reeled it in. Drew Estrada with the reception for 37 yards.
Oh my, Gary Bohannon said, oh, you think I can only run? Watch me drop this dime real quick. If you don't know who Drew Estrada is, he's a Dartmouth transfer. He missed a couple games because of a hamstring, but his hamstrings look mighty fine right there.
Got downfield behind the defender. From the 46. Bohannon, a little play fake. To the sideline and incomplete, intended for Tyquan Thornton. He's the team's leading receiver coming into the football game. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Let's talk about Bohannon a little bit. Look at his numbers on the season. 73% completion rate. That's fantastic. Has not thrown an interception. And he answered a lot of questions last week in that win against Iowa State, because previous to that, the level of competition hadn't been what it is now. And another flag, our 2nd one of the game.
False start, 76, offense. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Bohannon is 4-0 as a starter, and you have to love his story. The fact that he sat behind Charlie Brewer, the starter, for 3 seasons and waited his turn. Justin Ebner in the backfield. 2nd and 15. Trips to the bottom of the screen. Oklahoma State bringing some pressure. They got it off in time and incomplete. So it'll be 3rd and long coming up.
You know, I've been watching Gary Bohannon for a really long time. I've been able to see him grow and develop over the years, and he talked with us about how he saw something that the team needed last year at the end of the year, and it was more vocal leadership from him. They had the same guys coming back, so what was going to be the difference? The difference was going to be in the work, and you've seen him put in the work. But right there on 2nd and 15, you saw Oklahoma State take a chance and bring some pressure, and Gary's got to do a great job of knowing where his hots are so they can stay ahead of the sticks. This is a tough one right here on 3rd and 15.
They've been the #1 team on 1st down all season. But right now they're behind schedule, and they're going to be forced to call a timeout, it looks like, here. With the play clock running down to 0. Dave Aranda wants to talk things over.
Expired. 1st time out of the half, Baylor.
They burned their first one of the ball game. 9:31 to go in the opening quarter. Back to Stillwater right after this.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Sonos. Experience game-changing sound made easy.
Man, it's fantastic to celebrate Hispanic Latino Heritage Month. You look at some of the coaches with Latino blood and heritage. Manny Diaz, before that Mario Cristobal, and the Avalos at Boise State, at New Mexico. Danny Gonzalez right there. And Dave Aranda in our game, head coach of the Baylor Bears, talking to us earlier about how when he first saw Tom Flores, that gave him the inspiration as a younger man to know that there was a path available for people of his heritage and people that look like him. 3rd and 15, little receiver screen pass, nowhere to go. The catch made by Estrada, but way short of that 1st down. He picked up about 4. So the Cowboy defense responds on 3rd and long. And Presley's going to go back to receive this punt from his own 8-yard line. There's a look at Tom Flores, the former great coach of the then Oakland Raiders. I'm old enough to remember when the Raiders were called the Oakland Raiders.
Oh, really? Really? Don't age yourself
a couple
now.
times. He believed in the path and really looked up to him, as I said a moment ago. Fair catch called at the 12-yard line by Presley. It'll be 1st and 10 from there for Spencer Sanders and the offense. Dave Aranda's defense going to get on the field here, but we had a great visit with him a couple of days ago, Robert, and I really love the unique approach that he has with both us, the media, and with his players. It's a very spiritual type of approach, almost a holistic approach, coaching players' bodies as well as their minds.
Yeah, Dave Aranda is, I call him Yoda. Look, he's the whispering dragon, all right? He's not the loudest person in the room, but he's still very dangerous.
One of 6 Latino coaches, Hispanic coaches in college football.
False start, number 67, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
And you know, Coach Aranda is he's a relationship guy, right? He's a vibes guy. He can feel when things are off, and he wanted to make sure that this Baylor team was going to fit his personality. And I think we've seen that this far throughout the year, them being 4-0 already.
2-7 a season ago, already have turned it around in a big way this season. Here's Warren. He was huge on that first drive. Ran 7 times for 51 yards. As we check in with the studio.
All right, Mark, your Capital One Fan Vote Studio update. Final play of regulation, Sam Acho. Tanner McKee to Elijah Higgins.
Yes, he took a huge hit earlier in this series. He came back and dropped a dime as time expired.
PAT is good, Mark. 24-24. They go to OT on the farm.
You could almost see and hear that receiver saying, I got a little one.
I got a little one. Mismatch.
He's too little. 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Warren tripped up, but instead it's a pass over the middle, complete to Tay Martin, the #1 target, their leading receiver. As we take a look at this week's college football rankings, brought to you by AT&T 5G. Right after this snap, Sanders. Tay Martin with another reception. Had 15 coming into the game today. Sanders hands it off again to Warren, this time stopped up after a gain of about 2. Cole Maxwell making the tackle on the play. What jumps off the screen at you as we take a look at the AT&T 5G college football rankings, Robert?
Yeah, obviously we look at this and we know some of these teams aren't going to be in there after the way they performed today, but we're getting to see who the real contenders are. Alabama, Georgia, wow. Oregon's in overtime right now. Penn State had a great win, and Iowa just obliterated Maryland. So
how about that last night? Impressive as Warren runs it again. And boy, what a precipitous fall for Clemson, who just a couple of short weeks ago was up near the top of those college football rankings.
They were, but now you look at Wake Forest, right? 37-34 victory over Louisville, and are they for real? All they got to do is keep winning, as those Raiders say, right? Just win, baby.
And as you see the struggles of the Oklahoma Sooners, maybe not as dominant in this conference as people thought they might have been. 3rd down and 6. Presley in motion to the top of your screen. Sanders gets rid of it quickly, picked off. Threw it right to Tejada. And he ended up on his backside as well. And Baylor with the game's first turnover on the interception. Raleigh Tejada with the interception.
I want you guys to focus in the backfield. Obviously, this is Raleigh Tejada right here who gets the interception. But look here in the backfield about this pressure. That is what J.T. Woods talked to us about needing to get so that they can make plays on the back end. So you watch this right here, and they get pressure right up the middle, force the quarterback to throw the ball early, and there's Raleigh Tejada just waiting for the gift from the quarterback and take it the other way.
Second interception of the season thrown by Sanders for Baylor. That was their 5th interception. Starting good field position on the jet sweep. Nowhere to go that time. Colin Oliver making a nice tackle on Drew Estrada, who's getting a lot of looks, targets, and touches so far in this game. The Dartmouth transfer.
Yeah, Jeff Grimes, offensive coordinator, talked with us about Drew Estrada, said that he was a guy that we were going to see a little bit more of. Right, as I said earlier, he missed a couple games because of the hamstring, but they want to bring him in and take some pressure off of Tyquan Thornton, #9, and R.J. Sneed, #0, who have been their leading receivers.
The #1 team in the country on first down behind the sticks on 2nd and 11. And not much room for Abram Smith, who stopped up after a gain of about 2. Well, next Saturday we'll have the 117th Red River Showdown game between #6 Oklahoma and Texas at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. Our coverage kicks off noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central on ABC and the ESPN app. One tap. 3rd down and 10 coming up for the Bears from the Oklahoma State 36. Cowboys defense has done well on 1st down defense so far. It's been a big key to Baylor's success this season. Bohannon sacked back at the 44. They got him. Tyler Lacey and Israel Antwine and Bernard Converse all converging for the tackle. That's their 14th sack of the season.
You know, they decided to go with a boot keeper right here on 3rd down, and Gary has to trust his speed and stay on the left side of the field there because there's nothing working for him back when he cuts back across the field. You got more area to work. Maybe you can make something happen over there, but here cutting back across the field into the teeth of that defense is not what you want to do.
Isaac Power punting. A guy that really did a great job last week in flipping the field in special teams in that win against Iowa State for Baylor. Did a great job. The junior out of Castle Rock, Colorado, with a nice punt. It'll be 1st and 10 when we come back.
All right, we talked about it at the beginning of the broadcast. The team had to come out and start fast and see what they got. And here, Oklahoma State, they moved the ball. They ran the ball well with Jaylen Warren, Spencer Sanders throwing the ball all over the place. They did some tempo, and then they got Jaylen Warren in the end zone, running a little eye candy off to the side. They've done a phenomenal job of starting fast this game.
Warren runs it into the boundary on 1st and 10. Going to be stopped up for a gain of about 2 on the play. Jaylen Warren, a young man who is from Salt Lake City, Utah, didn't have a lot of offers coming out of high school. He went to Snow Junior College for a couple of years, then transferred to Utah State, and then found himself in the transfer portal, came to Oklahoma State, and with a rash of injuries to their tailbacks, he became #1. And he got rocked at the 20-yard line. Quinn has more on Warren.
Yeah, overlooked as a high school senior. Guy who broke all sorts of state records. He had no fumbles. A Big 12 coach came into his high school, talking to his high school coach, saying, nah, we don't like him. We think he's too slow. Well, too slow. How's too slow look now? This guy's got a turbo pack. I mean, he's got the spin move, a great side-to-side runner. Look at the power in his calves and his quads, and he has become the man for the Cowboys.
Yeah, they never named the Big 12 coach that said that about him, but that was part of the reason why Warren decided to come to Oklahoma State, to prove it. Sanders took a hit, stayed on his feet. Oh, talk to the hand because his feet aren't listening. Good straight arm by Sanders to get the 1st down.
Spencer Sanders right there, let everybody know, hey, don't you forget about me. Look at him put the shoulder down, said I got these sweet feet for you, and oh yeah, I bench press too, baby. Let's go.
1st down and 10. Dominic Richardson in the tailback position for the first time. Who gets the carry? That Baylor front. Obanaya, Chidi Obanaya, limiting the gain to a yard on the play. There he is, big number 98 out of Houston, Texas. 6'5", 305 yards. This defense going against a high-tempo offense here so far tonight. Sanders tiptoes out of bounds just shy of the 35. He's got about 2.5 yards to go for the 1st down. 3rd down coming up. Let's look ahead. What do you like for this call, maybe?
Yeah, I think they should keep the ball on the ground.
Okay.
You know, Jaylen Warren has been effective running the football. They bring in this wing back in, as you see, to kind of lead the way. If you're going to go for it on 4th, you definitely run the ball right here.
They've had a lot of success on the ground. Sanders keeps it. Got a good block. And falls down at the 40-yard line. They kept it on the ground and moved the chains. Brandon Cassidy delivered a good block along the run. A 26-yard gain, Robert.
Oh, yeah, you got 3rd and short. Why not run a little zone read? You see everybody fall on the ground. Spencer Sanders like, wow, I got a lot of field out here. Oh, let me just trip. Woo! There you go. 1st down.
Richardson still in the ball game at tailback.
Oh, he tied,
He's
boss.
gassed. Those lungs are on fire.
He tied, boss.
He was happy to hand that off, wasn't he, Robert? And he picked the right guy. A strong, invariable run by Dominic Richardson.
I can tell you right now, defensive coordinator Ron Roberts is very upset. This defense prides themselves in stopping the run. They call it their fastball. And right now, Oklahoma State is really taking it to them up front. They're winning at the line of scrimmage, and these backs are punishing these guys right now.
Under a minute to go here in the opening quarter. And another 1st down on the ground. Richardson doing the honors again. We've seen Warren and Richardson have a lot of success on the ground. He picked up 5.
We talked to offensive coordinator Casey Dunn, and he didn't really believe that Baylor's defense was dominant either up front or in the back end. And right now he's trying to let them know you're going to have to get these safeties involved if you want to stop this running game.
Sanders going to hand it off again. This is Richardson. Nice cutback. Picks up about 9. Robert, that offensive line just rolling up their sleeves and putting that defense of Baylor in the weight room right now.
Yeah, right. I was going to say, right now they are. Casey Dunn said they want to simplify and let their guys fly. Right now they're being very, very physical.
That is the end of the 1st quarter.
Man.
They are putting a lot of muscle in their hustle here in the first 15 minutes. Oklahoma State leading it 7-0 and threatening when we come back to start the 2nd quarter of play. You know, downtown Stillwater, Oklahoma offers a vibrant scene of local shops, live music, plenty of spots for a delicious bite to eat. That's why various publications list Stillwater as one of the happiest places in America. Yeah, morning coffee, and tell you what, Eskimo Joe's with a great meal last night for us. And but Robert, this is not such a happy place for you. They didn't ask you on the survey, did they?
No, they didn't ask me on that survey, and I think everybody knows. Every Oklahoma State Cowboy that I run into always talks to me about,
boy,
you're 0-3 when you came here. You know what? I got to say this, though. I went to a pumpkin patch the other day.
Right.
Oh, my God.
Here?
Mr. John Kuhn here in Glencoe, Oklahoma. And they were very, very hospitable. It was awesome. My kids had a blast going out there and riding the rides.
Damn, 0-3, though. They sent the limo to make sure you made it here.
Oh, they wanted me here. They wanted me here.
1st down. Richardson again brought down behind the line of scrimmage by Christian Morgan. And Quint was talking about the proximity of the fans. Do you remember hearing any stuff coming from the fans behind you on your Baylor bench?
Oh, yeah. There were some things that were said to me that I could not repeat on the air.
Of course.
But, you know, all great things that they were speaking towards me and my teammates. But, hey, at the end of the day, that's their job. Their job is to make this difficult for the away team, and they do a phenomenal job of that.
Sanders with time. Backside heat. And he got lit up. Got drilled from Tejada from behind on the blitz. Man, did he take a lick when he got up.
Yep.
Ruling on the field.
Right here, there's Raleigh Tejada.
3rd down.
They got him near the line. They always tell quarterbacks, hey, when the guy's near the line, they're going to blitz. And guess what? The left tackle just couldn't block him. Raleigh Tejada's a track guy, so maybe that quick start really helped him get around that edge.
That 10.6 meter speed being put to good use. 13th play of the drive coming up for Oklahoma State. Nose of the ball resting at the 18-yard line.
You know, Jonesy, there's a couple times when I was here that we'd be drawing up a play on the sideline, and they would tell us, you can't run that play. That's how close they are. They can see what you're trying to do before you're trying to do it.
But maybe you should have asked them first.
Yeah, you know.
They can draw it up for you.
There's a lot of geniuses in the stands, right?
Yeah.
The fans always know what play we should run and who we should throw the ball to.
Nobody's wrong. Interesting to note, though, that as you look at the Oklahoma State fans here at Boone Pickens Stadium, that Baylor's actually won 2 of the last 3 games here. So they have turned the trend around of late. Prior to that, Oklahoma State had a huge, long winning streak against the Bears. Of course, when you talk about your time here, Robert, this is kind of what it looked like back in 2008.
Look at that film. Oh, drop. That drop. Oh, I have nightmares about that drop. Every Baylor fan has nightmares about that drop. Then we go to 2011. Obviously, this is our Heisman year. Kendall Wright, one of the greatest receivers in Baylor history, going out there making plays, right? We just couldn't get it done, man. These guys are too good.
Sanders back, delivers, intercepted again. Number 22, J.T. Woods, a.k.a. the Heartbreak Kid, breaking hearts of quarterbacks around the country.
Oh, I got to bring it back because HBK, J.T. Woods told us, you know, my favorite wrestler growing up was Shawn Michaels. And him and Graylin Arnold had a really good camp one year, and they started calling each other HBK.
Okay.
HBKs because, like you said, he's breaking the hearts of quarterbacks. So you can look right here, Mr. Sanders. He's going to throw this ball. Gets, oh, no, why did I throw that? Baylor going the other way.
Back to Boone Pickens Stadium. First down and 10 for Baylor after the interception. It's been tough sledding on first down for the Bears today. For the most efficient team in college football on first down going into the day, that was Treston Ebner picking up a few. Malcolm Rodriguez making the tackle on the play for Oklahoma State. Ebner was averaging 7 yards per carry coming into the game today. And look what Baylor's done as a team on first down. 5th best in the country. But not the story so far. They try to hit that zone. He cut it back, Robert, and nowhere to go. Jabbar Muhammad making it 3rd down for Baylor coming up.
Yeah, Jabbar Muhammad just playing out there at the corner position. He doesn't get blocked. They bring the receiver in to kind of try to shield block him. He sheds the block and makes a tackle on the backfield. This is exactly what Jim Knowles, the defensive coordinator for Oklahoma State, said they needed to do. They needed to make them lose more on 1st and 2nd down to put them in 3rd and longs. Let's see what Gary Bohannon and the Baylor Bears can do on this 3rd and 7 to move the chains.
Gets rid of it quickly. Pass complete to Thornton, but way short of the first down. Tyquan Thornton brought down immediately by Jarek Bernard Converse, and 3 and out for the Bears offense on that sequence.
You know, being backed up there, obviously you would love to be able to move the chains and go down and march down the field and put some points on the board. But right now, Baylor's only got 11 plays. They haven't had an opportunity to get into a rhythm, and that's the first time we've even mentioned Tyquan Thornton's name, and he's been a big part of their offense all year. So we're seeing how big special teams will be in this game.
Speaking of which, Isaac Power averaged 54 yards a punt last week in that win. Punts it all the way back to the 41, a 45-yard boot. Folks, anything in the air that long should have a movie on it. Oh. Back with more after this.
Rocket Mortgage Studio update. Crazy finish in Palo Alto. Acho, Tanner McKee to John Humphreys in overtime.
Yes, in overtime, John Humphreys, bing, 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 like Plinko, he gets in the end zone.
PAT would be good. One last gasp for Oregon. 4th and 8. Anthony Brown sideline to Micah Pittman, but he was out of bounds.
Yes, all you need in college is 1 foot down. He got no feet down. Down goes Oregon.
Huge loss for the Ducks, Mark, and the Pac-12.
Yeah, Stanford improving to 2-1 in conference play, and boy, Robert, I really think that opens up the door a little bit more even for Cincinnati, a team that came up big again against a quality opponent on the road today. Talk about that as the evening progresses. On 1st and 10, Warren with another sprint, a marauding run for the first down. Well, Sunday NFL Countdown is hitting the road to take you live to Gillette Stadium for Tom Brady's return to Foxborough. He is? I hadn't heard that yet, Rob.
Oh, not
Plus, an exclusive one-on-one interview with Brady before he faces Bill Belichick. For the first time, it all kicks off tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. 2nd and 1 after that 9-yard run. Warren with nowhere to go. Man, he ran into some traffic with that hit. Big hit by Jalen Petrie to lead the way. J.T. Woods with an interception in on the stop as well. 3rd and 3.
That was a bone-cracking hit right there by Jalen Petrie. He said, you know what? Coach Ron Roberts is over here chewing us out and everything. We got to go make a stand. All right, Jaylen Warren, you're not running for any more yards, man. I don't know if that's going to happen. But I hope you liked my monologue.
Loved it. I kind of felt what he was saying through you. 3rd and 3. Sanders found his receiver for the first down. Number 28, Blaine Green, one of a couple of true freshmen, Robert, that started early this year because of injuries at that wide receiver spot for Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State has seen a plethora of wide receivers playing. And I got to mention this. Blaine Green is actually a twin. His twin brother, Bryson Green, also plays on this team, and he's not playing today, but that's pretty cool. I always wish I had a twin.
Are we sure it's really Blaine Green?
Oh, that's a good one.
You see where I'm going, right? On 1st and 10, little flea flicker action. Got a man wide open. Caught. And down at the 17-yard line, Tay Martin. And there's a flag down back near the line of scrimmage at the 44, so hold on. Let's get the call.
Ineligible player downfield, number 74, offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
That one hurts a little bit if you're a Cowboys supporter.
Yeah, I don't know how that guy got that wide open, but maybe it's because there was a guy too far down the field. As you see here on the flea flicker, they're going to talk about my guy right here. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, Preston Wilson.
What is he doing?
Yeah,
he's jogging down the field.
More than 3 yards.
He was way past 3 yards. Preposterous, man.
And the thing is, when you go into your bag a little bit, into your duffel, and you use that trick play, now you lose the impact of that, right?
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie. Spencer Sanders, he could have thrown a better ball and let the guy go score, but it was going to come back either way.
Here's Warren trying the right side of that offensive line. Let's go downstairs to Quint.
Robert, it looked like the clock in his head was just off. He thought it was a normal pass and released downfield. What do you say to that offensive line when he comes back to the line of scrimmage as quarterback?
Hey, man, I need you to keep blocking for me. We'll overcome this in the future. You know, what I think it really is they've been running the ball so much, maybe his head's just a little spinning right now.
Yeah. 2nd down and 12. Presley in motion. Sanders, Presley makes the catch, got a man to beat, hit him with the sauce. Couple of moves down to the 40. Brendan Presley with a couple of nice shakes there, picked up 10. It'll be 3rd and a manageable couple of yards to go.
I mean, how fun is this, right? How fun of a game is this experience? This is why we love college football so much. We get the trick plays, we get the big plays, the big losses, and whatever it may be. I'm having a blast up here, Mark. This is awesome.
I'm right there with you, partner. 3rd down. I formation. The good old-fashioned lead play, and nowhere to go. The intransigence of the Bears defense showing up as Matt Jones makes the stop. And it's 4th down, big-time play.
Here you see Matt Jones, who is filling in for a guy who's a bona fide player, and Terrell Bernard, and he has, I think he's got about 8 tackles today. He's all over the field.
4th down and 6. Tom Hutton, the Australian punter, pins it inside the 10-yard line, 95 yards away for the Bears. Still trying to get on the scoreboard when we come back to Stillwater. Folks, you know, my partner, Robert Griffin III, is all about full immersion into the environment. This was what it looked like for him prior to kickoff today, taking part in the pregame parade. The team walked through, ran up on head coach Gundy and Coach is checking out your fit a little bit there, man.
Hey, man, that might be the best looking hair right there combo that I've seen in a long time.
Okay. Oh, so I think he was saying you had some guns and some abs down there, right?
No, see what he actually said.
Said was wide open downfield and a catch by Drew Estrada. Biggest play of the day for the Bears.
Jeff Grimes said he wanted to make sure he wasn't predictable about his shot zone and wanted to take more shots down the field in their own territory. And woo, did he get one right there? Backed up in their own territory. He takes a shot to Drew Estrada, number 18, who's just been balling today.
Threw it off his back foot there, Robert. And out near midfield now at the 46-yard line, 1st and 10. Estrada in motion, now sets. Bohannon delivers it complete to Estrada, brought down immediately right around the 45-yard line by Tyler Lacey.
You know, we're talking about Gundy there, and what he was actually saying to me is, he said, hey, he said, I heard you had an extra year of eligibility, and if you wanted to come back, they're giving everybody extra years because of COVID and everything, so why wouldn't you get one either?
You might want to think about that, man. You know,
man.
This TV thing's going well for you, though. You know?
It's all you, brother. That's all you.
2nd and 10. They go empty. Trips left formation, a little bit of motion. Flag down.
False start. Number 65, offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
2nd down coming up after the penalty. So on a weekend when Oklahoma State is celebrating the 10th anniversary of their 2011 Big 12 championship team, how's your memory lane walk going so far here?
You know, you got Brandon Weeden down there looking like he's about 47 years old now.
Okay.
But, hey, at the end of the day, they were a great team. Brandon Weeden, Justin Blackman, Justin Gilbert, these guys were phenomenal.
Great history here for Oklahoma State. The pass complete. Number 21, Josh Fleeks. Fleeks with his 7th reception of the season picks up 14 as we approach 6 minutes to go. That 2011 team was pretty stacked.
Yeah, you know, Jonesy, some guys, they feel real bitter towards teams that beat them in college. But what I can do is I just respect the fact of how good they were. They were the Big 12 champs. They were ranked number 3, and they gave it to us in that game. It made us a better team, and we finished the season strong.
Ebner going to be sacked for a loss of about 4 on the play. Great pursuit by Jason Taylor II. But there's a flag down on the play. Haven't seen Baylor get that zone, that stretch zone in rhythm yet, Robert. Talk about that a little bit after this announcement, after this call.
Personal foul, hands to the face, number 55, offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Oh, you see it right here. This is a retaliatory act right there by Xavier Newman-Johnson. As you saw, the defensive lineman kind of got underneath his face mask. And what did he do? He got right back under his face mask. But they always say, hey, man, they're always going to catch the second guy.
How about that? 4th down coming up, and in comes Isaac Power, one of the MVPs of their win last week. That special teams game, the punting game, was a big success. But this one caroms into the end zone. It'll come back out. A 50-yard punt. Nothing on the return. Sanders with the rock when we come back.
Kevin Connors in studio. Coming up on the DirecTV stream halftime report. Much more on the huge upset in Palo Alto, how Stanford was able to take down Oregon, and who that win may help most. Speaking of, more on arguably the biggest win in the history of Cincinnati football, and major statements today by both number 1 Alabama and number 2 Georgia. All coming up when you join me and Sam Acho for the DirecTV stream halftime report. Mark?
All right, back here, 1st down and 10. Sanders going to hand it off to Dominic Richardson. And Richardson keeps those legs churning and picks up almost 7 yards on the play. With 5 minutes to go here in the first half of play. Mark Jones chopping it up with Robert Gifford the third. Quinn Kesnick down in the field on this, the first Saturday in October. A pivotal game between Oklahoma State and Baylor. Big 12 consequences hanging in the balance. Richardson trying to bounce it outside and wrapped up. There's a flag down. Richardson down just around the 31-yard line. That's going to be a hold on Cole Birmingham. Left tackle is Robert. We talked about whoever gets off quicker would have a better chance of winning.
Holding, number 67, offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Second down.
Hasn't seemed to help either team right now, though. You tell me.
It hasn't, but Oklahoma State went out first drive, put 7 points on the board. As you see Cole Birmingham here get the holding call on the run. But we also talked about changing the picture, right, and solving the puzzle of the defense. But because Oklahoma State's been going so fast, Baylor has been forced to line up in what they're going to play and haven't been able to change that picture. They got to stop the run and put Oklahoma State in bad situations so that they won't feel so free to go fast.
Sanders hands it off again. Richardson hard running and a big-time tackle. Well, our Week 4 Monday Night Football matchup has Las Vegas in Los Angeles taking on the Chargers. Our celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month continues at 8 Eastern on ESPN Deportes and the ESPN app. Monday Night Countdown from LA kicks off coverage at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific time.
Oh, you definitely from Miami, the way you just say Deportes.
You got to roll those R's, man.
You got to, baby.
Backside heat. And that pass incomplete. Good pressure coming from number 45, Jackson. And it's going to be 4th down coming up now as a result for Oklahoma State.
Is it me, or does it just feel like every single time Spencer Sanders goes back to drop on a 3rd down, he's getting pressure, whether it's up the middle, from the side, and he just looks uncomfortable out there. I don't know what throwing technique that was, but I've never seen that one from any of the QB gurus.
Well, his head coach Gundy has talked to him several times through the years about controlling his emotions. On the punt return, Ebner, who had a big punt return last week to help preserve that win. A 50-yard punt. Let me go down to Quint.
Yeah, in obvious throwing situations tonight, both Sanders and this Cowboy offense have clearly struggled as you see a Oklahoma State player on the field. Whether it's the lack of protection or his inability to read coverage and work through his progressions, it's been a disaster on 3rd and long in obvious throwing situations.
It's been tough, and as you look at the numbers in terms of interceptions, 3 this season. And coming into the game, he had only thrown 1. You know, Mike Gundy told Sanders last year, I remember when we had them, said, hey, listen, you need to forget about the fan in the 6th row who's yelling, I can do better, and just focus on staying in the moment and keeping your emotions in check. And Robert, you play the position, especially here, that's a little harder than what it sounds like, right?
Yeah, it's much harder than it sounds. But Casey Dunn talked about how Spencer Sanders is an emotional guy. When he plays well, you're going to know it. When he's not playing well, you're going to see it. And right now, we're seeing him struggle a little bit on 3rd downs. As you can see, number 22 here going in on the tackle.
That's DeMarco Jones. Yep.
You know, they say those piles are dangerous. Hopefully he's okay and can get back into the ball game.
College football presented by Sonos here with 3:42 to go in the first half. A low-scoring football game. Bohannon delivers incomplete. Intended for Tyquan Thornton. One of those speedy receivers that Baylor has. One of several players that is a former track star. Robert?
Yeah.
Some people might not know that you ran 400 hurdles at Baylor, right?
Hey, man, it's not about me. These guys, Taekwon, he's a fast guy right there. That was a little bit of both of him and the quarterback. Put a little tighter to his body, give him a chance to run with it. But Taekwon, you got an HBO right there. Help a brother out and make that catch.
3:38 to go. Smith in the backfield on 2nd and 10. Smith takes it into the boundary. There's that zone play, but picks up only about 2. Antwine, a weight room legend here at Oklahoma State, making the tackle on the play. There he is, number 95. It's one of those guys, when you watch the video of him and you watch him work out, he's got like 8 of those big chains around his neck, doing like 20 pull-ups. And for a guy that size, that's saying a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, 300 pounds, and you can do pull-ups with all those chains on. But he's also a great football player. He's not just a guy that can do it in the weight room. He's doing it on the field as well.
Almost intercepted, incomplete. Jason Taylor broke it up. Intended for Snead. And that'll get the defense off the field. Good heat on the quarterback once again.
Yeah, you just see the chaos looks, the pocket just looks like chaos here, right? Gary does a good job moving forward, but his throw is impeded by one of his own guys right there. I mean, this game, defensive struggle, special teams continuing to play a role. Let's see if they can flip the field again.
Isaac Power intending to do just that. A lower kick this time. Brought down at the 25. And about 3 yards on the return. Jackson, a 41-yard punt. It'll be 1st and 10 from just outside the 30-yard line. And the struggle continues. Hey, if you had called 7 points being the total in the first half in a Big 12 college football game, you knew something.
Listen, the Big 12 is all about points, and it is all about offenses scoring them in bunches. So when you see a defensive struggle like this, it makes you wonder, is something off? What's going on here? Maybe it is Boone Pickens Stadium. Maybe it's because Stillwater's the nicest place in the world.
Oh, according to surveys. Happiest place in the world for small town living. Jaylen Warren in the backfield. Trying to hit that seam. And a nice gain of about 7 on the play. Warren's one of those guys that has a lot of energy, brings it to the field every day in practice. There are times actually where the coaches have to turn him down a little bit.
I want to see Oklahoma State continue to run the ball and maybe use Sanders' legs a little bit more to get him back in the swing of things.
They press Warren's button again, and he'll pick up about 2, leaving them 3rd and a short 2 to go with just under 2 minutes to go here in the first half of play.
Oh, wow, look at that. 31 rushes compared to just 10 passes on the day, and I don't blame them. They're running the ball effectively.
They're going to run it again here, 3rd and 1. He'll get the first down with about 6 yards to spare. 1:39 to go, and Oklahoma State with 2 timeouts remaining. Baylor also with 2 on a 6-yard gain.
Right here, you see Spencer Sanders just hand the ball off and say, Jaylen Warren, go to work. The offensive line is doing a good job. Double team blocking, getting up to the 2nd level, making holes for him. They got to keep leaning on this. They got a bunch set right here. Look for another run, maybe even a play action pass.
There's the bootleg action. Sanders throws a dart complete into the boundary. That's going to be enough for a first down to Rashod Owens.
Now this is more of what we saw on that first possession when they went out and scored 7 points. Run, do a little boot action, right? Maybe take a shot, but they have to understand what they're doing well and keep doing that.
Run a little option. Oh, Sanders with nice little shake. Got him with a little bit of the sauce that time to pick up 12.
Yes, and you can see here, this is what Spencer Sanders needs. When you're throwing the ball and you're not really seeing the field that way, sometimes you got to get out there and make it get jiggy with it.
Under a minute to go. Looking a little bit winded after that run. He's their second leading rusher, one of their top rushers. Play action, taking a shot into the end zone. Caught. Touchdown Owens. Wow.
You know, Jones is just something about that number 10, right? That number 10 just makes you feel good on the inside. And I don't know if Casey Dunn can hear us right now, but we talked about run the ball, maybe do some boot actions and take a shot over the top. And that's exactly what they did right there to perfection. What a throw by Spencer Sanders. And it could be just because he got his juices flowing again, running the ball a little bit.
Rashod Owens, meanwhile, with his first touchdown catch of the season and the first of his career. Start to get his groove back on that drive. Spencer Sanders.
You know, it's like sometimes when you're playing basketball and they say, hey, man, his shot's off a little bit. Let's get him a free throw. Get to the line, make that first free throw, and then everything starts to fall for you.
Great analogy. Knocks through the extra point. 36 seconds to go in the first half. Spencer Sanders dropped it right in the basket.
He said, they said I can't throw the ball. Look at this. He throws it way, way over the top. Pistol Pete's right there. This gentleman right here is putting his hands up in the air. He doesn't know, is it a score? Is it not a score? But guess what? When you wear that number 10, sometimes you levitate and you get both feet in.
Great presence of mind to go up in traffic and come down with it like that. And a great reaction from quarterback Spencer Sanders, who talked to us earlier about being more proficient on the deep ball. That's exactly what he did on that pass.
Right there, I could feel him take a deep breath and say, I know I can do this. Great throw by him. Excellent execution from the offense. And now it's time for the Baylor Bears to respond because Oklahoma State is rolling.
They could use a nice return from Ebner. But Oklahoma State's been paying special attention to special teams coverage all week long, you can bet. What was the key on this last touchdown pass?
Yeah, you just see it right here. They're going to run a little play action. Spencer Sanders is going to fake to the back and come back out, and they run a little scissors combo. And this safety right here, as you can see him, let me circle him. There he is. You see him taking the corner route. So Sanders sees that. He says, I'm going to throw it over the top. The crazy thing was Baylor had guys in position to make a play there, but they didn't make that play. And Rashod Owens said, this is my ball when it's in the air. I'm getting this touchdown.
7 of 12, 96 yards, a touchdown, despite those 2 interceptions that he's thrown. Bohannon completes it to the 25 to his tight end Ben Sims. What a touchdown last week in that win. 5-yard gain on the play. 25 seconds to go. 2 timeouts remaining for Baylor.
They've got enough time to get enough yards to possibly kick a field goal, but they're going to need some big chunk plays here and also to stay near the sideline. Uh-oh, looks like we got a flag. Flag down on the field.
Illegal touching on the ineligible receiver, number 86 of the offense. That penalty is a loss of down at the previous spot. 2nd down.
Illegal touching.
He must have went out of bounds and been the first person to come back in and touch the ball, but that's the first time we've called 86 Ben Sims' name, and he's been a big part of their offense as well this year. So when they go into halftime here, they're going to have to try to find a way to get the ball to their playmakers.
Bohannon. Looked like he intentionally threw that away. Ebner was right there in the vicinity. It'll be 3rd and 10 coming up. 21 seconds to go. Ebner comes out of the ball game. Smith comes in on 3rd and 10.
It seems right now like the best thing for Baylor would it be to go into halftime and not make any mistakes. I think that was a very mature play right there by Gary Bohannon to throw the ball away on a screen. They had it covered. Why not? Don't waste any time. Don't put the ball in harm's way. But let's see what they do here on 3rd and 10, see if they can get the ball to R.J. Sneed.
They're going to hand it off to Abram Smith. Got to hold on to that ball, secures it, and is brought down at about the 23. So 4th down coming up, and in comes Isaac Power, their punter. Malcolm Rodriguez, who has been ubiquitous all season for them, all over the field.
Timeout, Oklahoma State. Their second of the half.
Leads them in tackles with 43 coming into the ball game. And, you know, Mike Gundy is a coach that covers a lot of bases and wears a lot of hats. And I mean that in a literal sense. Hooking up the officials after he dropped his.
Hey, Gundy's feeling good right now. His team's up 14-0. Defense is playing lights out.
Little PR work, right?
Right.
Little PR work
there. Just a little bit. Try to get the ref on your side, make him feel good about you. You're at home. But I talked about them getting the ball to R.J. Sneed there. But what it looks like, is Baylor is content on going into halftime down 14-0 and resetting and trying to come back out and really just awaken their team on all sides. Defense has been very opportunistic, but the offense has to figure out a way to score here in Boone Pickens Stadium.
That was the 4th 3-and-out for Baylor a moment ago as Isaac Power comes in, the former construction worker in Australia before he joined the Kicking Institute, where he was subsequently discovered. And that is an awesome punt that goes all the way down inside the 10. So he flips the field again. Isaac Power, another one of those very proficient Australian punters.
I was going to say, was that a powerful punt?
Hey now.
I don't know. He was a little mad there right there. Like, what are you doing? Let it go down to the 1.
Right.
Look, man, you
trying to get his bag and his numbers
up. He's like, what are you doing? Come on. I don't think that was an Australian accent, but I tried. That was really bad. Just call it what it is. Call a spade a spade.
Well, Power and Hankins, the place kicker, both Australian kickers.
What's their combined age?
One of them's 31. So.
Oh my God, 31.
Hey man, you talk about super duper seniors.
What?
He's a young 31. Dave Aranda's team trailing 14-0. Quint will tell us what he said on the other side when we come back. 14-0 at the break. Oklahoma State with the lead as we go back to the studio.
Welcome.
Under the lights at T. Boone Pickens Stadium in Stillwater, this is ESPN College Football Prime Time, presented by Sonos. You're watching the Big 12 Conference on ESPN. Now we'll take you from plan to play, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. And a couple of key points in this game, especially the start, Robert.
Yeah, we talked about how they got to start fast, and they got out on the first possession and went and ran the ball in with Mr. Warren there. And then right here, they did a nice little play-action pass to set up the corner route, the scissors combination. You see it here. It holds the linebackers a little bit. And then right here, boop, there's the safety. He sees the corner, and he jumps it, leaving the post route one-on-one with the corner. And then what do? Mr. Owens goes up in that number 10 jersey and secures a touchdown. And those are the scoring drives with Oklahoma State Cowboys.
Well, Baylor's going to get an opportunity to get the football first here in the third quarter. Gary Bohannon, the quarterback. 7 touchdown passes against 0 interceptions coming into the football game today, but it hasn't quite gone his way. Robert, as you and I were chopping it up during the break, we talked about them being able to take some deep shots, a little bit more Tyquan Thornton in our life, right?
Exactly. We want to see them get the ball to their playmakers. Tyquan Thornton, R.J. Sneed, they're not getting them involved in the game plan, and because of that, you see their offense is starting to stall. So I actually, aside from the throws, I want to see them get Gary more involved in the running game.
Okay.
He's a very physical runner, and if they want to get back to that number 6 ranked rushing attack, they're going to have to use him.
Well, here he goes, taking it off. Dialed up his own number, took out his do-it-yourself kit, and close to a first down. Flanagan making the tackle. Kent?
if Oklahoma State's going to stack the box, Dave Aranda says, well, we got to open things up on first down and throw the ball a little more on first down. You saw on that last play, they go empty, spread them out, and use the QB draw. So you look for a little more creativity on first down for Baylor. This is a team who's had great success this season on first down, just not tonight.
2nd and 1. Pitch into the boundary. Nowhere to go that time for Ebner. Made one guy miss, then Rodriguez hit him with some smoke. Wow, Malcolm Rodriguez with a big-time hit, a converted safety from a season ago. It's going to be a loss of 3 on the play. He's one of the more active defensive players, leads them in tackles coming into this football game.
You see there, it says he's got 11 tackles per game. He had 45 on the season coming in. They call him the wrestler. He just finds a way to get guys on the ground. But now we're sitting here at 3rd and 4, and Baylor has to get this first down.
Bohannon on the bootleg is going to get the first down with about 4 yards to spare. Picks up 5. Some of the pertinent numbers from the first half. Baylor was 6-3 and outs. Just a couple of first downs. Very unlike the trend that they've established coming into this football game, especially on first down.
Look, I've been a part of these types of games, right? Being here at Boone Pickens Stadium. But the fact is they are only down by 14 and still have a chance to win.
Bohannon taking a shot on the post. Got a man. It's dropped. Incomplete. Knocked away by Bernard Converse. It was intended for Thornton. And Thornton's the guy we were talking about a moment ago to start the quarter about getting more touches.
You see right here, Jarek Bernard Converse just plays the eyes of the receiver. What he needed to do there, because the ball was a little underthrown, was late hands it. You talk to the great wide receivers and they say they can make the quarterback right by not showing their hands too early and letting the DB know that the ball is coming there. But Jarek, wow, he's had a great couple of weeks here. He's been challenged a lot, and he's stepping up big.
Bohannon completes it to the edge, out to the 41-yard line. That's a backup tight end, Drake Dabney, with his 3rd reception of the season. Picks up 4 on the play. 3rd down coming up for the Bears.
You know, they say a little dab will do you, right?
Yes.
A little Drake Dabney there, getting him in a nice little 3rd and 6.
Man, what you know about that? You're not old enough for Brill Cream.
Hey, man, you put too much, you're going to be glistening and sticking.
Oh, you must have went on YouTube. You cheated. 3rd and 6. Empty formation. Bohannon will lunge, and it looks like he got enough for the first down. Let's see where they spotted. And it's going to be a first down. Got it with a yard to spare. Great effort.
As Baylor continues to spread everybody out, show a little more creativity, they're putting the ball in Gary Bohannon's hands and saying, look, we need you to go get this for us. It doesn't matter how you get the yards. It doesn't matter how you get the first down. It's the fact that you got the first down, and they really needed that coming out here in the second half.
First down and 10 from the 48. They fake the reverse. Ebner tried to turn the corner and brought down for a gain of nothing on the play. You know, back to Bohannon, interesting story from a town of 2,400 people. Population 2,400, 28 miles west of Memphis. Said that he chose Baylor to play football because of the size and the affinity for former head coach Matt Rule. And Robert, I know you had some interactions with him as a youngster in some of the football camps there. We'll talk about that after this play. 2nd and 10 coming up. Alabama, Arkansas, LSU, Georgia, Auburn, they all offered Bohannon as well at quarterback. And we got a whistle. We've got a timeout called.
Timeout, Baylor. They're first of the half.
Baylor on their opening drive here, the second half. Looking at 2nd and 10 when we come back. You know, there's been a litany of coaches that have gone through the doors at Baylor. Going back last several years, Jim Grobe, 2016. Matt Rule taking over before leaving for the NFL. And now Dave Aranda took over last year, went 2-7, but on a great track right now. A predetermined quarterback run, and Bohannon keeps it. Picks up about 3 on the play. Devin Harper making the stop. There's a look at the chronology of it all. Jim Grobe, Matt Rule, and then Dave Aranda presently, but there's a bigger story behind that. And the turbulence now seemingly settled under Dave Aranda, and hoping to establish a little bit of continuity in a very, very successful program. 3rd down and 8. And nowhere to go that time for Treston Ebner. Got a yard, 4th down, and that's where the drive dies for the Bears on the 49-yard line of Oklahoma State. Good tackle by Devin Harper.
You could tell there with the run selection right there, they were obviously going to try to go for it on 4th down if they could get more positive yards on that 3rd down carry. They didn't. Oklahoma State kind of stuffed them after a 1-yard gain, so they're going to have to punt the ball. But it was an encouraging drive from the Baylor Bears. They moved the ball a little bit, and maybe they have found a recipe to success with running Bohannon to get more opportunities and more downs moving forward.
This is going to be the 7th punt of the night for Isaac Power. Flag
False
down.
start, number 19, offense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So that'll push it back a little bit. Isaac Power, talked about him being a former construction worker in Australia before joining the Kicking Institute in Australia. Seems like you can just log on to their website and get a very good kicker now these days. That punt out of bounds just inside the 20-yard line. Both these teams coming in at 4-0, both coming off of pivotal wins a week ago. Baylor taking on Iowa State. Interesting to note, Robert, that they scored on their first 3 drives of the ball game. And
yes,
that really set the tone for them.
It really did, and they were on fire, honestly. In the second half, they got shut down a little bit, and it seems like it's carrying over to this game. But with Oklahoma State, they had a ranked opponent in Kansas State, and they went out, and they won a game and upset Kansas State there. So you're kind of wondering, like, who's real, who's not, who's playing well, who's not playing well. And right now, Oklahoma State is leading this ball game because they're executing their plan better than the Baylor Bears.
Baylor missing a key player on defense as Oklahoma State runs it for a gain of 3 yards. That's Warren. Matt Jones making the tackle, but we would be remiss, Robert, if we didn't mention the absence of Terrell Bernard, who's one of their more dynamic players defensively, right?
Oh, he's a guy. And whenever you're missing him out there on that field, it can have an impact on your defense.
2nd and 7. It's going to be Warren again, putting his hat down and running into Dylan Doyle. It'll be 3rd down coming up now after the gain of 3.
And the missing of Terrell Bernard is not to say that Matt Jones, number 52, isn't a good player. It's just that sometimes Terrell Bernard would have, he'd be 1 step ahead because of the intellectual part of the game. And I think they're missing that right now a little bit on defense. But let's not get it twisted. This Baylor Bear defense, led by Ron Roberts, has done a phenomenal job of keeping their team in the game while their offense hasn't been playing too well.
This is year 2 of Coach Roberts' scheme defensively. 3rd and 4. Sanders fires, tipped up, picked off by Dylan Doyle. And Doyle with another Baylor interception. That's the 3rd one of the night. And they'll be working with great field position inside the 35. The ball was tipped up in the air, and Doyle had all day to track it and haul it in.
You know what they say, tip balls get picked. And right now, Spencer Sanders is saying, Coach, come on, man. Why are we throwing the ball? You see what happens when I'm throwing the ball. He goes right here. He tries to find his guy. Actually, it just goes off of his helmet, and you hate to see that. This is the same guy wearing number 10, Rashod Owens, who caught the touchdown pass, but the ball gets into him, pops up in the air, and what does number 5, Dylan Doyle, do? He gets the pick and sets up the offense in great position.
1st and 10 from the 31. They run the reverse. This is Estrada. Nowhere to go. Big time close and hit by Thomas Harper, the safety for the Cowboys. Loss of 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 12.
Well, it looked like Oklahoma State saw the same play that we saw on the last possession with the fake reverse. It was open. They said, hey, guys, make sure you don't let that happen. They're going to come back to that. They came back to it. They shut it down. And you wonder right now for Spencer Sanders, Oklahoma State's quarterback, what does he need?
Right.
After that interception, does he need another free throw attempt to get back in rhythm?
Gonna have to wait. 2nd and 12. Bohannon looking Thornton's way. A lot of pushing and shoving. No flag on the play. Christian Holmes in on the coverage on Tyquan Thornton. And it's 3rd down and long. Oklahoma State has been outscored in the 3rd quarter this season, 20-0.
And if you've watched any of their games, you've seen that they have kind of eked by in every single situation. So right now, if they struggle in the 3rd quarter, Baylor has a big opportunity to go and maybe put some points on the board and make a game of this thing. But right here on 3rd and 12, that's difficult. Look for Gary to use his legs to extend the play as they go empty right here.
Thornton and Snead to the top of the screen. Bohannon going to try and take off, and he's going to lose about 4 yards. Colin Oliver, the true freshman, with a sack. And the Cowboys defense, impervious again, comes up with another stop and a big one here on the fringes of field goal range. They're at about the 36 here.
Yeah.
It would be a 53-yard attempt approximately for Hankins.
It looked like Baylor tried to go back to its previous success from the previous possession. And that was a design quarterback draw right there. And if you can't win up front on those quarterback draws, those defensive linemen, and you're running straight at them, there's nothing that Gary could have done anymore. It's unfortunate that they couldn't maximize that turnover once again.
Isaac Power going to punt. Nose of the football down. Ball goes end over end. And it's down once again inside the 10-yard line. So he's doing his part. 30 yards on the punt. Bohannon on the sidelines. His defense will be on the field when we come back. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys from Stillwater. Chester Pittman, the first black football player for Oklahoma State, was a barrier breaker for Oklahoma State, arriving in 1957. Now, he died late last year at 83. Was honored last Saturday when the Cowboys donned white helmets, black jerseys, white pants. Along with this set, special helmet stickers showed off a football, the number 23 and Pittman's name, along with a different set of warm-up shirts paying tribute to the Cowboy legend. And it was great to hear Cowboy receiver Tay Martin talk effusively, praising the efforts of Pittman back in the day and paving the way for him and many that look like him. Here's Warren, one of those such players, with a nice gain.
Yeah, you know, it was one of the quotes I saw from Chester Pittman. He said, if given the opportunity, I think you have to take advantage of it. And I thought that was such a powerful statement from him. He was a barrier breaker. He was a guy that allowed me to play this game. And he took the opportunity when others said maybe he shouldn't.
Right.
And he stepped forward and paved the way for us. It was awesome.
Second and 4. First down, Warren.
Pittman became a teacher and a coach in Kansas City, Kansas, after having grown up on a farm. But the conditions that he persevered through, the hostile environment, whether it was being booing, whether it was not being allowed to eat with teammates, to stay in different hotels on the road, trailblazer, pioneer, and the strength of his character endures with that number 23.
Yeah, great point, Quint. The layers of overt racism that he had to face back in the day, frankly, are admirable that he would make it as far as he did. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10, now 3rd and 10.
To Quint's point, I read that Chester Pittman had to sleep in an empty dorm on a black college campus in Arkansas because he wasn't permitted to stay with his white teammates at a road game. And he's just like, man, that's just unthinkable that he had to deal with such things as he was breaking down barriers for players everywhere.
Sanders going to take off on his own. Made one guy miss, made a couple tacklers miss. The ball came loose, but he was already down, and he's going to be stopped up short after that 8-yard scamper. And the Baylor Bears defense gets a win there by coming off the field again.
This Baylor Bears defense is keeping their team in the game. You know, you look at what Spencer Sanders has been doing all day, and they've had 3 turnovers. And Mike Gundy has no problem punting the ball here. Why? Because every time they've had a turnover, they've gotten no points. Baylor's gotten no points off of those. So he feels really confident in what his defense is doing right now and is willing to play the field position game.
Hutton with the punt. Down at the 37-yard line. First fair catch by Ebner. Time out on the field. 4:46 to go in the third. Under the lights here in Stillwater. Next Saturday, we'll have the 117th Red River Showdown game between number 6 Oklahoma and Texas at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. Our coverage kicks off at noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central on ABC, the ESPN app, one tap. Robert, I've called that game a couple of times, and what a great scene it usually is and was at the old fairgrounds in Texas. Here we go on 1st and 10. This is Estrada. Falls forward. That's going to be a gain of about 7 yards on the play. Jabbar Muhammad making the stop. You know what I love? I love the deep fried cookie dough that they sell there.
The deep fried cookie dough. Man, just hearing that makes me want to go do a workout.
Big Tex?
Big Tex, man.
Tex
You know what they say, in Texas, everything is bigger.
Hey, man. Red River rivalry. Texas OU next week on ABC. Part of the big picture here in the Big 12. Bohannon scrambling, throws a dart, and it's going to be ruled incomplete. Intended for Estrada. So 3rd and 2 coming up.
You see here, he almost makes that catch and tries to get the knee in. But Baylor, R.J. Sneed, leading receiver, no catches. Treston Ebner, one of their leading receivers out of the backfield, no catches. Tyreek Thornton, 1 catch for 4 yards. They said they needed to establish their fastball, and right now they're struggling.
Ebner stopped up, nowhere to go. He hit a stone cold wall on 3rd and 2. Devin Harper led the charge. Boy, that Cowboy defense has been stout, strong. 4th down.
We always talk about winning at the point of attack, and you can see here that Baylor's offensive line is getting pushed 2-3 yards into the backfield, and that is not what they want when you're trying to run the football.
And they're going to go for it here, Robert.
They have to. It's 4th and 2. If anything, try to get them to jump off sides. But you got to let your team know you're trying to win the game.
Bohannon the toss. 1st down and then some. They gaps the defense. And he's off. Smith looked at his wrist and got time today. Wow, what a run by Abram Smith on 4th down. 55 yards in a bolt across the Oklahoma plains.
Now, I told you guys, Coach Aranda, he's Yoda, right? He's the whispering dragon. He whispered to his guys, hey, we're going to go for it on 4th down. He does a nice toss play to Abram Smith, and that might have been one of the biggest plays in the game to get them back in this bad boy.
They lacerated that defensive front with their blocking screen to bring them loose.
And you watch this right here. We always talk about receivers catching the ball, but R.J. Sneed said, you said I can't block. He does a nice job of giving him just enough time. And what does Abram Smith do? He runs through that Oklahoma State defense like a tornado, baby.
Wow. That was convincing, and they, in one 55-yard swoop of a run, come to within 7 points. Talk about needing a big score and scoring the way they did. Look at their 4th down conversion rate on the season, 90%. That one might be the biggest one so far this year for the Bears.
Oh, yeah, and Abram Smith just had his career long. What perfect timing, right? A forever kind of moment to have your longest career run in a big-time showdown rivalry game of 2 top 25 ranked teams.
4 plays, 63 yards. They used up a $132, and big man getting his river dance on. I'm not sure what that was. It wasn't the gritty or the smeeze, and it certainly, Studio Man, was not the running man. Studio.
All right, guys, your AT&T 5G studio update. Mississippi State now up 2 scores on Texas A&M. Will Rogers to Mekhi Polk.
Yeah, Will Rogers, the defender slips, Polk gets the touchdown, he gets the reward, he stays up.
Second connection of the day between the two. Mississippi State in front, 24-13, guys.
All right, back here. A nervous bit of energy, tangible and palpable here at Boone Pickens Stadium. Sanders trying to regain his form and poise. Throws a dart complete at the 46-yard line to Tay Martin. A 21-yard pickup and a first down.
Hey, that's a very familiar NFL scheme I just saw there. They ran a dagger combination, running the inside slot guy through the inside safety and running the 18 to 20-yard dig by Tay Martin. Beautiful throw by Spencer Sanders.
Sanders moving quickly again, but this time stopped up front. He's going to lose about 3 yards. Cole Maxwell making the tackle on the play. Well, this season, along with their contributions to university's general scholarship funds, for every field goal and extra point made, Allstate will also be donating to the American Red Cross to help with disaster relief efforts. Thank you, Allstate. Sanders complete. Martin on the move, and another first down at the 33-yard line for the Cowboys. Tay Martin, last year the Washington State transfer, now fully acclimated at Oklahoma State and holding his left arm. There's also a flag down on the play.
Yeah, and if you're wondering why Tay Martin was so open, it's because they ran a quick tempo play right there. No one was guarding him. Spencer Sanders saw that, got him the ball in a hurry, and that was the result.
Substitution infraction on the defense. 12 men on the field. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Well, they couldn't even cover him with an extra man out there, Robert.
I know that's actually a good line. And what they say, right, Spencer Sanders, as bad as he has played at times today, that was big time by him, seeing that Tay Martin was uncovered and that the defense was misaligned with 12 guys on the field.
Got his presence of mind back. 23-yard gain on the play. Warren in the backfield. Sanders on the RPO, and he's going to throw it away wisely, using good discernment that time. You think Sanders has his flow back after that last interception?
It just feels like, you know, he gets into a flow and then boom, something bad happens. Gets into a flow, boom, something bad happens. Right now, he does appear to be in a flow, and I know for the Oklahoma State fans, they hope that it stays that way.
2nd and 10, Cassidy in motion. They run the zone stretch play, and Warren trying to hit it up inside and nowhere to go. Petrie making the tackle, a short gain on the play. 3rd down coming up for Oklahoma State. Up by 7 points, under 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Both these teams ranked in the top 25. Both these teams undefeated at 4-0 coming in. Sanders taking a shot. Martin caught. Complete inside the 10. Wow, what a catch. Martin contorting his body to come up with the grab.
Tay Martin is just one of those guys that they tried to double him here and he still beat the coverage. Look at that.
Warren on the run, stopped up at the 5 by Dylan Doyle.
When we talked to defensive coordinator for Baylor, Ron Roberts, he said they were going to always try to keep this guy, Tay Martin, bracketed. And you can see there's 2 guys there, and Raleigh Tejada tries to funnel him to the safety, but man, sometimes you just can't stop the big number 1. He is an NFL-type player.
Guy that certainly is playing much better than he did last year. Under a minute to go. Warren down to the 1-yard line. Tackle made by Matt Jones. Jaylen Warren really got downhill that time, Robert.
Yes, he did, and just to go back to that catch, right? We talked about Spencer Sanders and is he back in his right state of mind and presence of mind? But how about the presence of mind for Tay Martin to not only contort his body, make that catch, but do the toe drag swag right there on the sideline.
Okay.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Took out the whole package on that play. 3rd and goal. Warren stopped up, met a wall of white jerseys, and it's going to be 4th and goal for Mike Gundy and Oklahoma State. Wow, big time surge in the middle. JT Woods, Mr. Heartbreak Kid, one of the first ones to arrive there, and that's going to be the last play of the 3rd quarter.
This is the end of the 3rd quarter.
45 minutes in the books.
And we see here we got Oklahoma State driving down the field and Tay Martin with the, ooh, Tay slide, baby. We see you now.
Well, the ESPN College Football Primetime presented by Sonos. Tanner Brown in to attempt a field goal now. Should be a relative chip shot from the left hash, and he knocks it through to make it 17-7 on the 20-yard field goal. Just underway here in the 4th quarter. Mark Jones, Robert Griffin III, Quint Kesnick down on the field. Well, Taco Bell welcomes you to the Live Moss Student Section of the Year contest. Use hashtag Student Section Sauce to get the committee's attention, and go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how your school can compete. Got some live ones here today.
Oh, yeah, can't forget about the paddle people, right?
Yeah.
Out there making noise. Got a chance to go talk to them before the game, and they were actually quite friendly to me.
I like you. You are the people's choice here, man.
Hey.
You've been mixing with the crowd, getting votes, constituents.
Hey, man, I'm trying to build my constituent base, as you know.
We saw some good dancing a little bit earlier. Some guy doing the woo dance.
You see the Baylor guy right there hanging out in the middle of all the Oklahoma State fans? He doesn't feel threatened?
Wow.
Oh, man.
Where is he, Robert?
Right there. Look at him. He looks like a ball of joy, doesn't he?
Hey, he's excited. He just hasn't told his face yet. On the return, Ebner, nowhere to go, run out of bounds at the 16. Let's check in with the studio.
Hey, Mark, Mississippi State, Kentucky, 22 seconds to go, up 7 on Florida, 4th and goal. Emory Jones, Sam Acho, it's incomplete.
Welcome to October in college football. Number 8 went down, number 9 went down, and now number 10 goes down. Amazing.
Jacquez Jones broke it up, the Ole Miss transfer. Kentucky is 5-0, 2013, the final.
Wow. Big news there as the Gators go down against Kentucky. 8, 9, and 10 all lose today. And not to mention Oregon.
Yeah.
At Stanford.
Number 3.
Taking a shot up top, Bohannon. Picked off into coverage, but there's a flag down. They might have whistled it. Might have whistled it prior to the snap.
Baylor got a break there. Boy, oh, did they ever.
Prior to the snap, delay of game. Offense, number 11. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So Mike Gundy's over there saying, can I decline the penalty? Yeah. Can I decline it? No, he cannot. Hey, the coaches are over there talking about, hey, man, look at the clock. It's a delay of game.
Yeah.
And their players like, why'd you tell him that, man? I just caught an interception. What's going on here?
We saw an NFL game where it was Baltimore kicked a field goal on a previous controversial play where the play clock ran out last Sunday. That pass incomplete, intended for Snead. First Saturday in October, and boy, some big guys taking it on the chin, Robert.
Oh, yeah. Oregon, whoop, get out of there. Arkansas, whoop, Notre Dame, get on out. Florida, just get on out. It's This is college football, man.
Yeah.
This is what happens. You get rankings early in the year, teams start to get losses racked up, and you realize who are the pretenders and who are the contenders. And this has been a reckoning of a weekend in college football.
The guys coming in are saying, hey, sorry to see you leave, but glad to see you go.
That's a good one right there, man.
2nd and 15. They just snapped it before the play clock expired. And look at the effort from Smith. Invariable and inexorable effort by Abram Smith. Kept those legs moving, Robert.
Look at this. Quinn wants to talk about Warren and his legs and his calves and power. Bow! Get out of here. He still keeps them moving and rumbling and tumbling. He says, you're not all going to bring me down. Abram Smith needs the ball in his hands as much as possible.
Picked up 18. Boy, some hard hitting down there. Big time hit by Jason Taylor. Lowered his hat. Gain of 6 on the play by Ebner. 14 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. 10-point lead for Oklahoma State. Mike Gundy told us earlier this week that this team is unique. He really senses that more than some previous teams, this team really digs each other. They like each other. A little pressure off the edge. Bohannon taking a shot. Got a man. Caught by Thornton. First down, Bears.
I can just hear all of Baylor Nation saying, finally, Tyquan Thornton gets one down the field, one-on-one against Jarek Bernard-Converse, and he makes the adjustment on the throw down the field.
44-yard gain. Into the end zone this time. Jump ball. Incomplete, intended for Snead, but there's a flag on the play. Bernard-Converse in on the coverage on R.J. Snead.
Oh, they're definitely going to call offensive pass interference. Receiver there, pushed off right at the last second. It's going to push them back a little bit.
Pass interference, number 24,
oh.
defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Look at that.
Automatic first down.
Okay.
Hey, man. Hey, sometimes we're wrong. Right here, they called it on Jarek Bernard-Converse. Oh, okay, I see it now. It was actually a push the other way. So what do you say? Now Baylor's got an opportunity here. Yeah, I mean, I can see it both ways there.
1st and goal from the 6.
But there's only one way that counts, and the ref called it against the defense.
Bohannon going to take off. Got a block. And is brought down at about the 2-yard line. He had Abram Smith leading the way, but Malcolm Rodriguez limits that gain to just 4 and keeps him out of the end zone. Rodriguez has been a catalyst with his game-changing plays the last couple of years.
Listen, I've been here at Boone Pickens Stadium in these situations in the goal line. And Oklahoma State, in those years, did a phenomenal job of keeping us out of the end zone. Let's see if this Baylor team can get the ball in and make a game out of this one in the 4th quarter.
2nd and goal. Smith. Hit. Stopped. Boy, Mason Cobbs really hit. A 1-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and goal. Tell you what, Big 12 defenses sometimes face scrutiny and criticism, but these two defenses doing a nice job today.
Oh, they're the real deal. They're mixing it up. They're playing physical. They're out there hitting. And right now, Oklahoma State is trying to have a goal line stand and keep the Baylor Bears out of the end zone and really eliminate their ranking as well.
Bohannon got in. Touchdown. Bears score. Gary Bohannon presses his own button and calls his own number. And that's his 5th rushing touchdown of the season, the 8th of his career, and Baylor pulls closer.
Gary Bohannon and the Baylor Bears said, hey, we might be in the same old stadium, but this ain't the same Baylor Bears. And they do a great job of getting the ball in the end zone there. And now we've got a tight one. Right after this extra point, it could be 17-14. And they are trying to get that mojo. You call it Uncle Mojo. He's in the end zone. They're trying to get it back on their side. Man, we could be in for an interesting finish here.
The extra point is good, and we have a 3-point football game. Dave Aranda with that Yoda-type personality, the mystique, that aura cascading over the sideline for the Bears right now, and has them to within 3 when we come back. Well, the postseason starts Tuesday with the AL wildcard game right here on ESPN and the app. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. And Robert, I want double pepperoni and just a little bit of cheese on my pizza.
Is that a pizza cap?
As a box on his head.
I guess that's how they do it in Oklahoma, huh?
Wow. Thin crust, please.
He must have went to Mexico Joe's.
Yeah. Not Eskimo?
Not Eskimo Joe's, but Mexico Joe's.
Get a table after this great game, and one of the happiest small towns in America, Stillwater, Oklahoma. Out of the back of the end zone, 1st and 10, coming back the other way for Oklahoma State from the 25. A tale of 2 halves offensively for Baylor. Look at that. 102 in the second half.
And they had 55 of those on one rush, but the numbers do tell you that this has been a half more about Baylor than it has about Oklahoma State. But the cool thing is, although there's not a lot of points, Jaylen Warren has his 6th 100-yard rushing game, and Tay Martin has his 6th career 100-yard receiving game. So they're still putting up some decent numbers.
Martin split to the top of your screen. They got 2 receivers out that way. Sanders looking to pass it. Comes underneath to Warren, and Warren picks up about 8 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 2. Jaylen Warren out of Salt Lake City, Utah. Transfer from Utah State. Sanders had it batted down at the line of scrimmage. Good hands-up play by Braden Utley. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
You know what they say sometimes to the big fellas up front? Hey, if you can't get to the quarterback, at least throw a hand up and try to knock it down. And sometimes tip balls get picked like we saw earlier in the game. That one beautifully just falls right to the ground.
Utley out of Huntington Beach, California. 3rd and 3.
I would not be surprised if they tried to get the ball to Tay Martin here.
The inside receiver to the bottom of your screen there. They're going to hand it off. Warren will do the honors himself and gets the 1st down with about 3 yards to spare. He got 5 on the play, and they moved the chains.
What they did there is they used Tay Martin as a decoy. And the offensive coordinator Casey Dunn always talked about wanting to get the ball to his best players, and Jaylen Warren is one of those guys.
Robert, Baylor just had a tough time lining up, getting people on the field in time. Utley making the stop on the play, and there's a flag down as well.
All right. Illegal substitution, 12 men on defense. The defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay, 1st down.
Was he trying to convince himself?
I don't know what he was doing there, but you look at these guys. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Man, he was trying to hide behind that guy. That's a lot of people.
All right. Like hockey having a power play with 2 extra attackers.
Man, we got all the references today.
Yeah. So 1st and 5 after the infraction from the 42. Sanders hands it off to Jaylen Warren. Nothing doing that time. Good tackle once again by Dylan Doyle, who's had a strong game today. Native of Iowa City and Iowa transfer last season. One of their leading tacklers coming into the ball game tonight. And got a Baylor player injured on the field.
Media timeout.
Got Quinn Kesenick down on the field, efforting a little bit of information in just a bit. We'll come right back on the other side of this word.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Sonos. Experience game-changing sound made easy.
Under the lights at Boone Pickens Stadium, and That's one of the best mullets that I've seen since getting to Stillwater 48 hours ago. That is prime mullet. Look at the beautiful lustrous shag on the back of his neck.
Oh no!
I mean,
look at that. That's an infraction. Oh my goodness!
That's a beautiful mane that person has.
This man said a mane. Wow.
2nd and 3. They try to hit the edge on the zone. Loose ball. They put it on the ground. And the Cowboys fortunate enough to get it back. So it'll be 3rd down. Lost a few yards on that play. And it'll be important here for Oklahoma State to hang on to it here. A tenuous lead of just 3 points for them.
Yeah, I think Jaylen Warren might have been distracted by that mullet he just saw.
Sanders keeps it, and he's not going to get there. Stopped up. Gained 3 on the play, but it's 4th down, 2 to go. J.T. Woods once again in a timely position, making a stop along with Walcott.
You can really tell how much both of these teams want to win this game. Spencer Sanders was just running with the wind behind him, and that Baylor defense had about 6 or 7 guys running to the ball to try to stop him on that 3rd down. You can see how much this means, and this is big time Big 12 football.
Haven't had a chance to talk about it much, but they've got 3 of their 4 guys in the secondary that are former track stars. And when I talk about track stars, talking about speed like Trayvon Bromell speed, Robert Griffin.
I like it, Trayvon the Bullet.
Well, next Saturday we'll have the 117th Red River Showdown game between number 6 Oklahoma and Texas at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. Coverage kicks off noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central on ABC and the App One Tap. At Baylor, of course, a school with great track and field tradition as well. Got some guys that can run. Meanwhile, the last drive for the Bears, man, they rolled up their sleeves and went to work. Abram Smith was a key cog on their last scoring drive, and then most of the yards coming right there. Thornton with a big-time catch and the ensuing touchdown. 1st and 10. Downfield and incomplete, out of bounds, intended for Ebner, who came out of the backfield. Little wheel route, it looked like, Robert.
Yeah, Gary had him there. If he could have just left it in bounds, he had a one-on-one. Ebner had gotten past the defender, and he just sailed it a little bit out of bounds. We sometimes call that the cutter. When you're throwing from your right to your left and you're right-handed, it can cut on you going out of bounds to that left side of the field.
2nd and 10. Bohannon fires complete at the 35. Catch made by Estrada. Working against Holmes. 5-yard gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down. Talking about those secondary players for the Bears. Trayvon Bromell is actually another level of speed, but those guys are actually fast.
Yes, Kalen Barnes is a guy. He beat Anthony Schwartz, who was a high school phenom, running the 100 in his last high school race. So these guys can run, but on offense, it's a big down right here.
3rd and 5. They're going to run it on the ground. Smith stopped up, nowhere to go. And the Cowboys defense holds firm. Great surge up front. Impenetrable.
It looks like right now Jeff Grimes thinks he's got a play. He thinks he's got something up his sleeve right here on 4th and 4. Going for it in his own territory. Let's see what Gary Bohannon and the Bears have in store for us right now.
Ebner, no, that's Smith in the backfield. Play clock down to 7. Incomplete. Cowboys take over on downs. It was tipped by Brendan Evers.
Whenever you get these big 4th down plays, it's all on that defensive line to get pressure. And boy, did Oklahoma State's defensive line get pressure here to get Gary Bohannon out of the pocket. And you just see right there, Dave Aranda, Yoda, He's unfazed. He still believes his Bears can do it, but they're in a tough spot now.
.806 to go under the lights. Baylor trying to survive the vicissitudes of this momentum and the swings of this game. Warren running the football, picking up about 2 yards on the play. Matt Jones with yet another tackle. Under 8 minutes to go. Cowboys with the football. We'll see how deliberate they're going to play here with the lead. Sanders double pumped it and incomplete for Tay Martin. It'll be 3rd and long. I'm not sure if he hesitated on that throw or what happened, Robert, but he kind of went to pull the trigger and then held it.
It looked like he had him the first time, but you're right. He did hesitate a little bit. But if you Tay Martin, you got to make that catch. Their team motto is DAT, discipline and toughness. They got to make those plays in the primetime moments.
On 3rd and 8, Sanders finds a safety valve, but not much happening there either. Warren brought down by Doyle, and it's a quick 4th down. And let's see what Oklahoma State does here with the nose of the ball going to be placed at the 36. And
they're going to punt it.
Yep.
I guess.
Well, Baylor's going to get another opportunity here after. I guess it didn't hurt them that they went for it on 4th down after all.
Exactly. Yoda knew something that we didn't know. He knew that his team was going to get a 3 and out and give him the ball back.
Hutton. Fair catch called at the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from there for Bohannon after the 31-yard punt. Well, Big 12 now on ESPN Plus, a must-have for Big 12 fans. Tomorrow, 2 women's soccer matches highlight the afternoon. Kansas, Iowa State, and the number 10 Horned Frogs host Houston. Both matches start at 2 Eastern. And with the basketball season less than 6 weeks away, Big 12 Media Days give you a season preview. If you're a Big 12 fan, you got to have it. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com/Big 12 now. You know, Associate Head Coach Jerome Tang and Head Coach Scott Drew tell me that you used to hang out at the gym a little bit, speaking of Big 12 basketball. And try and get some buckets out there, Robert.
I have to say thank you to Coach Drew for allowing me in the gym. It was a blast. I really love those guys. They've great personalities and done a great job with that program.
Oh, by the way, they're the national champs. On the carry, this is Ebner. Getting a little push from behind, picking up about 4 on the play. Davion Mitchell went to Sacramento. Mr. Off Night for the Baylor Bears basketball squad last year that won the championship. Tyquan Thornton making his presence felt, working against Bernard Converse. It's going to be 3rd and 2. And speaking of Big 12 basketball, Cade Cunningham, by the way, the number 1 pick in the draft with the Pistons. Talented player. 3rd and 3 and nowhere to go. They're going to fail to convert again on 3rd down. The clock running with a little over 6 minutes to go. And this time they'll punt. No choice, pinned this deep in their own zone. They didn't have anything going on that sequence, Robert.
Yeah, it looked like they ran 2 zone schemes with giving Gary an opportunity to read the defensive end, but they're bringing the linebackers on the outside and the safeties up to the line, so he didn't feel like he had an opportunity to pull it there. But that's not what you want if you're Baylor on offense. You don't want to go 3 and out and give the ball back to Oklahoma State.
In comes Isaac Power, and he booms one out to the 42-yard line. Fair catch called by Brennan Presley with 5.5 minutes to go. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. One of these teams is going to take an L for the first time this season. Back with more after this. Welcome back, everyone, to look at the Big 12 standings up to the moment. Oklahoma squeezing by today against Kansas State. They remain undefeated in conference play at 2-0. Do they feel a little bit vulnerable to you at all, Robert?
They do, but you feel like right now the conclusion of this game is going to tell us who's going to have a loss, right? But there's only going to be 2 undefeated Big 12 teams after this game. And if any of them lose one of these games down the stretch, it really puts their college football playoff hopes in jeopardy.
Well, Spencer Sanders, the other Spencer at quarterback in state here at Oklahoma, not Rattler, completes that to Owens. First down, under 5.5 minutes to go. Inside Baylor territory after that 11-yard gain. Little option to the wide side of the field. Sanders will slide. There's a flag down as well at the 42-yard line. We talk about it all the time, Robert. How tough is it when you're a tempo team like Oklahoma State has shown to suddenly slam on the brakes when you got the lead and you want to slow it down?
It's completely against their nature, right? It's like trying to make a three-point shooter a dunker. Doesn't
Holding.
work.
Number 90, defense. 10-yard penalty added to the end of the run. Results in a first down.
That's against Franklin.
I guess unless you're Zach LaVine, right?
Okay.
He was a dunker.
Yeah.
I mean, and we started
And
talking
shoots
about
threes, yeah.
Now he shoots threes. Vince Carter, similar.
That was the 8th Baylor penalty of the day. Gives Oklahoma State a first down and 10. Trying to hit the edge again is Jaylen Warren. Oklahoma State has done well so far this year in terms of doing just enough to win. And you can never fault a team for that, especially in light of the fact that, remember, this is a team that has faced some unusual injuries this year and had to start 2 true freshman receivers at the beginning of the season. They've had to be special on defense, and they have been. Right now on offense, man, Sanders with a serious bit of sauce and fake. Jalen Pete with a stop, but man, Sanders, you know, that's like a crossover dribble. That was sweet. And there's a late flag thrown from the sideline as we go to Quint.
We talked about the tight quarters here at Boone Pickens. It's only about 6 yards width of the sideline. And that time Sanders comes off. There's a mass of bodies here in the Baylor sideline. You see Cowboy players go in to help their quarterback. Next thing you know, out comes the laundry. It goes with the territory.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Number 52, defense. That penalty's half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Wow, that is a big-time buddy pass and fast pass for Oklahoma State. A grievous penalty against Jones right there with 4:08 to go. And that's going to move the nose of the football way downfield, and they're going to place it at about the 13.
You know, Dave Aranda talked to us and said they want to do simple better. And it's those types of penalties in crucial moments that hurt you as a football team. Matt Jones has to be better in that moment.
Warren in the backfield. Sanders hands it off to him. He cuts it north-south. Man, Robert, he put his foot in the ground and changed direction in a blink to get 5.
It seems like he thinks he's smelling pay dirt, right?
Okay.
They're getting closer and closer to the end zone. They understand if they get a touchdown here, it can almost put the game out of reach. But right here, Spencer Sanders hands it off to him. Boom, he hits a nice jump cut. Wow, that's like a layup package in basketball, right? He's bringing out everything, running with power, running with speed, the jump cut. This guy has it all. And for a guy who wasn't supposed to be the starter,
He's putting some money on tape.
He's putting some money on tape right now. And I know there's some scouts in the building.
2nd and 6. Warren picks up about 4 on the play. Great shiftiness, wonderful elusiveness. He made Christian Morgan miss. And now the enemy for Baylor is as much the clock as Oklahoma State.
Defensively, they just got to hold them to 3.
Yeah.
They're going to run the clock down. They've been doing it, you know, really since halftime, trying to do this ball control style offense. If they can get a stop either in the goal line stand or right here on 3rd and 2, they still have an opportunity to possibly win this game.
Sanders going to throw it, and he wisely throws it away. Nobody open at all, and there's a flag down back at the 14-yard line.
Holding number 8 offense. 10-yard penalty, replay, third down.
You see it here, number 90. Okay.
That's a tackle.
Not gonna lie, I saw number 90 doing motion on the play before, and he looked like a defensive guy. So he's out there tackling people. He doesn't understand that he's on the offensive side of the ball. You can't do that, man.
Brandon Cassidy, perpetrator, 3rd down and 12. They move the nose of the ball back to the 14. Warren, the tailback. They can get a 1st down without scoring a touchdown. Sanders rolls out, keeps it, sprints. Let's see where they spot this. He got close. Let's see where they spot this. He might have gotten it. Oh, wow. They're going to bring it back. It's going to be short.
The ruling is the runner is short.
It's 4th down.
Timeout on the field for an injury.
In real time, Robert, it appeared as if his knee hit before the 1st down marker.
And I think that's what they're going to call it here. As you see him, he was a man on a mission, though, wasn't he? Boom, he goes forward. He says, I'm getting this 1st down. But what we can't see, the camera can. And his knee was down right there.
Yep.
And that looks like he's just short of the 1st down.
Which brings up an interesting call if he is short.
And when I say just short, I mean just short. I don't know. That did look like a bad spot there. They might have had him a little further back than he was. But, man, impressive run right there.
Yeah.
By
JT
Spencer
Woods.
Sanders.
This is Baylor's 2nd charge timeout of the half.
Morgan shaken up on the play for Baylor. Let's take one more look at the spot.
Yeah. Here he is. He does the fake. They do the boot action. They got a guy going to the flat. Got a crosser coming. Got a comeback on the sideline. Traditional concept. And then what does he do? He hits the nitrous and tries to get through the hole. Gutsy play there by Spencer Sanders. And after the play, after he kind of bounced forward a little bit.
Yeah, he sold it.
It looked like he got the 1st down, and he sold it really, really well. As you say, sometimes these guys look like they went to acting school. Right. But that doesn't diminish the run in the play, because now it puts them in a situation where they have to make a decision. Are we going to kick the field goal and give Baylor an opportunity to possibly go and score a touchdown and win? Or are we going to go for it right here with 2 minutes and 14 seconds left in the game and make a statement? Let's see what Mike Gundy decides.
Well, Baylor only has 1 timeout remaining after this one. And the question begs, will Bohannon get an opportunity to answer? And what kind of deficit would he potentially be facing? Hey, listen, this Baylor defense has only given up 17 points today, and Oklahoma State's just 14. Like I said earlier, in the Big 12, sometimes that can be a rare sight.
And those numbers, right? Baylor's the number 11 scoring offense in the country with 42.8 points per game. And right now they're sitting at 14.
They're going to go for it.
That speaks volumes about Oklahoma State's defense.
1 for 1 today on 4th down.
Timeout, Oklahoma State. Their 1st of the half. It's a 32nd timeout.
So Oklahoma State is going to have 2 timeouts remaining. Baylor with just 1 timeout remaining. 4th down and about 2 to go. Robert Griffin III, I ask you, is this one of those situations where they just try and draw them offside by lining up like they showed, or they try and really run a play?
Yeah, it's just, what are you thinking here?
Right.
If I'm an offensive coordinator, I'm definitely trying to draw them off sides. But I want to keep the ball in the hands of my best players. So that's either Mr. Warren, we're running the ball with Spencer Sanders, or I'm throwing the ball up to Tay Martin and say, go make a play for me. Because in this situation, you don't want to just, let me see if this works or that works. You got to have a play that you've been working on all week. And in this moment, you knew you were going to call it, and they were going to execute it to perfection.
Defining moment for Oklahoma State. And hold on now. One of the officials was running in perhaps to blow it dead. And Oklahoma State had snapped the ball. And Mike Gundy is irate right now. What just happened? The Cowboys were ready to go.
Prior to the snap, we've got Baylor using their final timeout of the half. This is a 1-minute timeout.
Okay, so Baylor's out of timeouts. They got the timeout prior to the snap.
Wow. You see here, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Uh-oh, too many guys on the field. That's why Baylor called the timeout, and Mike Gundy is over there screaming, they can't do that, they can't do that. Look at him. They knew they had him. They knew they had too many guys on the field. They tried to run the play really quickly, and they're irate that the refs gave that timeout to Yoda and the Baylor Bears.
Mike Gundy getting his blood pressure up a little bit there. Why not? 4th and 2 is what they'll be looking at, because Baylor was granted the timeout. Did you get a good look or feel for what they're trying to do on their next play, or do they probably got to run a different one now, right?
Yeah, I don't know if they have to run a different play because they didn't really showcase, any of their route combinations.
Okay.
But it looked like they had Cassidy there in the backfield, so maybe they were looking to run the ball. Baylor doesn't have any timeouts left, but I don't know. From here at 4th and 2.
Play clock is running.
If they put the ball in the hands of their best player today, it's number 7, Jaylen Warren. So maybe it is that run.
He's had another 100-yard rushing day. 4th and 2, and look at this. And now another timeout.
Timeout, Oklahoma State. This is their second of the half. This is a 30-second timeout.
So they're down to their final timeout. Baylor doesn't have any remaining.
Hey, these coaches are out there playing chestnut checkers right now. You take a timeout, I'll take a timeout. It's like Oprah, man. Everybody's taking timeouts.
Casey Dunn, the offensive coordinator, deep into the playbook right now. It's been a trying year for him in terms of dealing with some of the injuries they've had to work with at tailback and at wide receiver. But the good news is that Jaylen Warren has emerged from some of the infirmities that they've had to deal with and done a nice job at that tailback spot. They've been able to hang their hat on him. There he is. And Tay Martin has been productive catching the football. 4th and 2. Warren, touchdown Cowboys! That's what it's about.
We talked about it. Oklahoma State brought in number 90, Cassidy, put him in the backfield, and said, we're going to give the ball to our best player on the day, Jaylen Warren, number 7. And what does he do? He rides the wave of that offensive line, finds the crease, and gets in the end zone for the Cowboys. You know the Pokes are happy tonight.
Warren with his 6th rushing touchdown this season, 14th of his career. And now Oklahoma State up by 10. That's his 2nd touchdown today for a guy that went for 123 yards last week. Going over $1 here. Man, he is working that Bear defense like a part-time job under the lights here at T-Boone Pickens Stadium.
Wow. 35 rushes, 125 yards and 2 touchdowns. Don't worry about the average. The average isn't that great, but he is putting points on the board and numbers on the stat sheet. And right there, honestly, it looked like Mike Gundy said, look, we've been more physical than you guys all game.
Right.
We're going to line up. We're going to let our big guys lean on you and put the ball in the hands of our best player. And it worked for him.
Boy, big-time play and productive day for Jaylen Warren. And you know what? I don't think you can say enough about the resilience And the unyielding nature of Spencer Sanders to bounce back from some of those disheartening interceptions that he threw, not all his fault, on the course of the day. And to have this team up 10 points right now. Ebner takes it back out shy of the 30. It'll be 1st and 10 from there. 2:04 to go. One timeout remaining for Oklahoma State. Baylor doesn't have any. And Jeff Grimes got a lot of work to do. Play calling and moving that ball down the field right now, the offensive coordinator.
Oh, they got to move the ball down the field, and they got to move it down the field quickly.
Yep.
But I don't want to understate how many injuries Oklahoma State has been dealing with, right? Tay Martin, star receivers, only played 2 games. Trey Sterling's out. Trace Ford is out. Jaden Bray is out. Braden Johnson's out. The list goes on and on. These guys are a very resilient group, and they showed up today.
Bohannon fires complete to the tight end, Ben Sims. 1:56 to go. Clock running still. No timeouts remaining for Baylor. This Cowboys squad has been very enterprising, very creative with their personnel this year. And Coach Gundy's done a nice job. The catch complete once again to the tight end. A gain of 8 on the play. Sims with the catch. It was nice to hear him talk about his relationship with his players, how it's evolved over the last 18 months, how much more he listens now to them and takes their temperature and gets their feedback. Bohannon taking a shot, incomplete at the 15, and a flag down. He was trying to find Estrada working against Christian Holmes.
Christian Holmes was in good position there. He almost looked like he was playing wide receiver, trucking that bad boy down the field.
Get this call. 1:32 to go.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. We have sideline interference against Oklahoma State. That's a 15-yard penalty. First down.
Wow. Well, sideline, is that perhaps a consequence of the tight sidelines too? I don't know.
It could be, you know. There's only about 5-6 yards there of room. So watch as he sees he's running down. The official runs into this. Oh! You know what? He said, guess what, man? I've been warning y'all all game.
Yeah. That pass incomplete. So even with the second chance, Baylor unable to move the ball in the next play. 1:26 to go. Intended for R.J. Sneed. And now our guy is
right here.
He's
yes,
back
sir.
a little bit.
You are the reason for the 15-yard penalty.
Hey.
Uh-oh.
You need to get back, coach.
Did you see the cop right there? He said, hey, man, back it on up.
I'm going to slide a little bit. 2nd and 10 from the 43. Bears with a couple of last gasp efforts here. Bohannon incomplete. Intended for Tyquan Thornton. And Harvell Peel there defending. They've kept Thornton under wraps today, which is saying a lot. A guy with that great speed. We talked about his ability to get downfield and play for a great program. Booker T. Washington High School in my city, Miami, Florida, right there on 6th Avenue.
And he's a guy that they're going to try to get the ball to here, right? In this situation, 1:19 left in the game. If you're Baylor, you just want to get half of it back. You know you got 2 downs. You're down by 10. You got to score a touchdown. Just try to get half of those yards back right here.
Bohannon into traffic, almost intercepted a couple of times. Devin Harper got his hands on it, and he's thinking, wow, I let one get away.
Oklahoma State's defense is playing a little bit of a prevent, right? Moving back, knowing that Baylor needs yards in bunches. As you see right here, the backer gets his hands on the ball, kind of tips it up. And Bohannon, honestly, there is very fortunate that that wasn't an interception. It wasn't his finest throw, but right here on 4th and 10, they're going to have to dig deep and find a way to keep themselves in this game.
Bohannon sacked. Ball comes loose. And he was down first, but that should pretty much do it. Colin Oliver was there to tackle him. And he's telling the 53,000 here, let me hear you. Third sack of the day for the Cowboys defensively. And the party's about to start.
As you see here, and you see it from Gary Bohannon's point of view, when I'm looking at it from up here, Oklahoma State's defense is sticking to these guys like glue, so he tries to get vertical, gets his ankles touched, and the ball comes out, but he was probably down before the fumble happened. But this right here is what you call a coverage sack. On 4th and 10, the biggest down of the game, Oklahoma State's defenders decided we are not going to let anybody get open. Phenomenal display of technical football from Oklahoma State tonight, and they're sending the Baylor Bears back to Waco with their first loss of the season.
Well, this will really do great things for Oklahoma State as we look at their remaining schedule. October 16th at Texas.
You know, they might be
huge one coming up.
I was going to say they might be partying at Eskimo Joe's tonight. They better open it up. I know it closes at 9, but they better open it back up because these fans are going to be excited. But the one thing you look at this schedule, and it's not said there.
What's that?
All of these Big 12 teams are built to beat each other.
Okay.
Which is part of the reason that they've had so many struggles of getting to the college football playoff. But you see the Baylor Bears in the disgust in their face and in their body language because they know that they could have showed a better performance today. But Oklahoma State showed up today. And as they say, success is never owned, right? It's rented. And rent is due every day.
The hustle sold separately. 5-0 for the first time, Oklahoma State, since 2015. Sanders 13 of 23 for 182 yards. Had those 3 picks, but all that matters is the W. They improved to 5-0. Baylor falls to 4-1. Stay tuned for College Football Scoreboard, followed by Montana Eastern Washington. For Quint Kesnick, Robert Griffin III, and our entire talented crew, I'm Mark Jones. Right now, let's go to Kevin in the studio. So long, everybody.